Welcome to learning on sheet metal inside Infusion 360. In this video, we're going to go ahead and explore the sheet metal interface inside Infusion 360, which has a certain few features, such as creating new components, creating flanges, creating bends, and also converting to sheet metal if necessary. Under the sheet metal environment, you also have the modification tools that include your sheet metal rules, filleting, chamfer, and so on, and also your unfolding tools that are available. So today we're going to be taking a look at how you can actually create a component inside Infusion 360 sheet metal. So the first thing that I'm going to go ahead and do here is create a new component. This component now is going to be a sheet metal type of component. It's going to be an internal one that is directly inserted in this current design. You can also give it a name. I'm just going to leave it at component 1 for now anyway. And also, I'm just going to make sure that my new component is the one that's active once I hit create. Now, at the bottom of this tab, you have this drop down that says different sorts of sheet metal rules. So for each different material that you use, you can end up creating rules yourself, giving it a bit more detail on how it can be bent, how it can be torn apart, or how it can actually be bent around its corners. So creating these by default is something we will explore in the next video. I'm just going to go say OK here. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the create sketch option, selecting the plane on which I want to create a sketch. I'm just going to go ahead and create a rectangular profile. Using the center point rectangle inside in the Fusion 360, I'm going to go ahead and create a rough sketch for the sort of sheet metal component that I want. Once that's done, I can go ahead and finish out the sketch, create or hit the flange option, which automatically presents me with the option of picking a face to create the flange. So I'm just going to go ahead and select the sketch that I've got. It's going to be picked up as profile 1. Thickness can be adjusted to side 1, side 2, depending on where you like the thickness to go. You could switch around the directions as well, and also you could set it up to be symmetric if you had to. Now, this thickness essentially depends on the sheet metal rule that has been applied. I'm just going to leave it at side 1 for now, and just go ahead and say OK. Now, once I have my flange created, I can go ahead and add in a couple of bends to each of the corners on this plate. So if I go ahead and hit the flange command once again, what Fusion 360 does is it'll let me pick the edges from which I want to create these new flanges or these new bends. Now, you can see currently the height is set to 0, which can be modified by just dragging this little arrow that we see, or just typing in the distance that we want. You can also adjust the way that the height datum is being set. So if you're not happy enough with the outer faces, you can go interfaces or tangent to the bend as well. You also have the bend position that can be adjusted. So inside, outside, adjacent, and tangent, depending on your requirements. I'm just going to go ahead and grab onto this arrow and drag it upward so you can see the way that it shapes, the way that it actually shapes this model. I have the option to just go ahead and hit OK here, which is what I'm going to go do. And I have a component ready for me. Once I have the sheet metal component created, the next thing that I can also do is just convert it into a flat pattern. Now you have this option directly on the top ribbon of your Fusion 360. And if I go ahead and hit create flat pattern, the first thing that it'll ask me is the stationary face. I'm just going to go ahead and select this inside face out here, hit OK. And as soon as I do that, Fusion 360 gives me a flat pattern of this sort. Essentially, you can have this, or you can export this as a DXF if need be, or you can just go ahead and finish out the flat pattern and come back to it at a later stage. Thank you for joining me in this session. I'll see you on the next one.